Picture this: two roommates graduate college together. Same degree. Same company. Same $75,000 salary. Same city. Even the same apartment complex. 20 years later. One's retired on a beach at 45. The other is still grinding at 65, wondering what went wrong. Here's what's crazy: this isn't about luck, or secret investments, or rich parents. It's about 3 decisions that happen in your brain every single day. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which side you're on, and how to switch. Stick around because at the 8-minute mark, I'm going to show you the exact calculation that proves why someone earning half your salary could retire before you. Before we dive in, let me blow your mind with something. Ready? 1 in 3 people making over $200,000 per year, that's $16,000 per month after taxes, report living paycheck to paycheck. That's not a typo. Someone making 16 grand a month has the same financial stress as someone making minimum wage. Now, if you're watching this making $50,000 and barely scraping by, you're probably thinking, those rich idiots don't know how to handle money. And you'd be right, but here's the uncomfortable truth: the habits keeping them broke at $200,000? Those are the exact same habits keeping you broke at $50,000. The numbers are just bigger. Think about it: if you're bad at managing $1,000, you'll be bad at managing $10,000. Money doesn't make you smarter. It just makes your mistakes more expensive. So the real question isn't, how much do they make? It's, what are they doing differently every single day? And I'm about to show you the 3 silent killers that drain your bank account, and you probably won't believe which one is the worst. Wealth killer number 1 is called lifestyle inflation. But I call it the upgrade treadmill. Here's how it destroys you. You get a raise from $50,000 to $60,000. That's an extra $850 a month after taxes. Feels great, right? So you upgrade. Nicer apartment. Better car. More restaurants. New subscriptions. Within 3 months, that $850 is gone. You're back to paycheck, except now you're doing it at a higher income. Which somehow feels even worse. The person making $30,000 thinks $50,000 will solve everything. The person making $50,000 thinks $75,000 is the magic number. The person making $75,000 swears $100,000 will finally be enough. But here's what actually happens: your spending speeds up exactly as fast as your income. You're running faster and faster, but you never actually move forward. I know someone who went from $40,000 to $120,000 in 5 years. Sounds like a win, right? Wrong. They're more stressed now than when they made $40,000. Because instead of living like someone who makes $40,000 and banking the difference, they immediately started living like someone who makes $120,000. New car payment. Bigger apartment. Expensive gym. Designer clothes. Constant vacations. Now they're trapped in what I call the golden handcuffs. They can't take career risks. Can't pursue their passions. Can't quit a job they hate. Because they need that $120,000 just to maintain their lifestyle. Meanwhile, their college roommate got the same raises but kept their lifestyle modest. They're not trying to look rich. They're trying to be financially independent. That person banks $60,000 to $70,000 per year. Within a few years, they have enough saved to take real risks, start a business, or retire early. But lifestyle inflation isn't even the worst one. Wealth killer number 2 is way more sneaky. Wealth killer number 2 is debt. But not the way you think. Here's a typical scenario: someone makes $75,000. Sounds good. But they've got $400 car payment, $200 credit card minimums, student loans, A personal loan from that emergency 3 years ago. Wealth killer number 2 is debt. But not the way you think. Here's a typical scenario: someone makes $75,000. Sounds good. But they've got $400 car payment, $200 credit card minimums, student loans. A personal loan from that emergency 3 years ago. Compare that to someone with zero debt. That debt-free person has an extra $800 every month. Over a year? That's $10,000 of additional freedom. But it gets worse. Debt doesn't just cost you money. It costs you opportunities. Watch this: 2 people both get a $5,000 bonus at work. Person A has credit card debt at 20% interest. They use the bonus to pay it down. Smart move, but they're essentially getting a 20% return just to get back to zero. Person B has no debt. They invest that $5,000 in the market. Fast forward 10 years. Person A is hopefully debt-free, but has nothing to show for that bonus except relief. Person B's $5,000 has grown to over $10,000, and it's still compounding. Same bonus. Same income. Completely different outcomes. That's why debt is insidious. It doesn't just drain your wallet. It closes doors before you even see them. Now here's the weird part: wealth killer number 3 affects both rich and poor people exactly the same way. Wealth killer number 3, financial blindness. Most people have no idea where their money goes. They know their salary. They know their rent. Everything else? Just a blur of transactions. I've met 6-figure earners who couldn't tell you their food spending last month. No clue on subscriptions. No idea on entertainment. Zero awareness if they're even saving anything. They're flying blind, making decisions based on whatever's in their checking account at that moment. This creates what I call death by 1,000 cuts. $5 coffee, seems fine. $15 lunch, no big deal. $30 Amazon thing, whatever. $50 dinner out, we deserve it. Each purchase feels small. But they add up to thousands per month in unconscious spending. Meanwhile, the person who tracks their expenses knows where every dollar goes. They make conscious decisions. They spot waste instantly. This awareness alone frees up hundreds, sometimes thousands, per month for saving and investing. The difference? When you're aware, you make friction decisions instead of flow decisions. Flow decisions, you just do whatever feels right in the moment. Friction decisions, you pause and ask, does this align with my financial goals? But here's what nobody tells you: these 3 killers aren't really about money at all. They're about psychology. And that's where it gets really interesting. Here's the thing: the person who falls into these traps has what psychologists call a scarcity mindset. They're constantly worried about missing out. FOMO on experiences. FOMO on possessions. FOMO on status. This fear drives emotional spending decisions that feel amazing in the moment but destroy their long-term future. They see money as something that flows through their life rather than something they can control. When extra money arrives, their first instinct is to spend it before something bad happens. It's like they don't trust themselves to hold on to it. But flip that mindset, and everything changes. The people who build real wealth, even on average incomes, have figured out 3 fundamental principles that completely change how money works in their lives. And this first one is going to make you want to punch your younger self. I'm serious. This is the compound interest example that breaks people's brains. Wealth builder number 1, time arbitrage. Wealthy people understand that money today is worth dramatically more than money tomorrow. Not because of inflation, but because of compound growth. Meet Sarah and Jessica. Both 25. Both making $75,000. Sarah invests $3,000 annually for just 10 years, from age 25 to 35. Then she stops. Never invests another penny. Jessica spends her 20s living it up. Traveling. Designer bags. The whole 9 yards. At 35, Jessica has an awakening. She realizes she needs to get serious and starts investing $6,000 per year, double what Sarah was putting in. Jessica keeps this up for 30 years straight until she's 65. Here's the plot twist that breaks people's brains. Despite investing for only 10 years versus Jessica's 30. Despite investing half as much annually, Sarah ends up with more money at retirement. Sarah's total contributions, $30,000. Jessica's total contributions, $180,000. Yet Sarah's balance is higher because she gave compound interest an extra 10 years to work its magic. This isn't theory. This is basic math using average stock market returns. The person who understands this and acts in their 20s will build more wealth than someone starting in their 40s, even if the late starter has a way higher income. But here's why most people don't do it. Investing $3,000 at 25 feels like a massive sacrifice. You're giving up vacations, nice dinners, clothes that make you feel good right now. The benefit feels abstract and far away. Meanwhile, starting at 35 feels easier because you're more established. But by then, you've missed the most valuable years. It's like showing up to a party after all the good conversations already happened. Wealth builder number 2, pay yourself first. Most people do this backwards. Get paid, pay bills, buy stuff, hope something's left over. Spoiler alert, there's usually nothing left over. Wealthy people flip this completely. Money hits account, immediately move a predetermined percentage to savings and investments, pay future self before paying anyone else, including current self. Only after securing their financial future do they figure out how to live on what remains. Let's say you make $5,000 per month after taxes. Pay yourself first, immediately transfer $1,000 to investments and savings. Now you have $4,000 to work with. You'll find ways to make it cover everything because you have to. Compare that to someone planning to save whatever's left. They start with $5,000 available. Groceries. Bills. Lunch with friends. Online order. Streaming services. Month ends. They save $100 and feel good, not realizing they just chose short-term comfort over long-term freedom. The beautiful thing about paying yourself first? It removes the willpower component. You're not constantly deciding whether you can afford to save. The decision is automatic. Your lifestyle adapts accordingly. Wealth builder number 3, assets versus liabilities. This is going to change how you think about every purchase for the rest of your life. Asset puts money in your pocket over time. Liability takes money out of your pocket over time. Wealthy people obsess over acquiring assets and minimizing liabilities. Everyone else does the opposite without realizing it. Perfect example: 2 people need better transportation. Person A buys a brand new car for $40,000 with a loan. Monthly payment. Insurance. Maintenance. Car losing value every day. This is a liability disguised as a necessity. Person B buys reliable used car for $10,000 cash. But here's the key: they take the monthly payment they would have had and invest it instead. Let's say that's $600 per month. Fast forward 7 years. Person A paid off their loan. They own a 7-year-old vehicle worth maybe $15,000 if they're lucky. Person B owns a 7-year-old vehicle worth maybe $4,000. But they also have over $60,000 in investments that are continuing to grow. Same transportation need. Same monthly cash flow. Completely different outcomes. One person focused on looking successful. The other focused on becoming successful. Once you understand this, it becomes almost addictive. Wealthy people see everything through this lens. Every purchase: is this going to make me money or cost me money over time? And if it costs money, is this worth it, or could I put this towards something that grows my wealth? Quick example: two friends want to upgrade their home entertainment. Friend A drops $3,000 on a massive 75-inch TV. Gorgeous. Everyone's impressed. Netflix looks amazing. 5 years later, that TV is worth maybe $800. Friend B takes that same $3,000 and buys shares in the companies that make the TVs, the streaming services, the content. 5 years later, that $3,000 is worth over $4,000, plus they've been collecting dividends. Now, I'm not saying never buy a TV. Maybe friend B waits 6 months, finds a deal on a smaller TV for $800, invests the remaining $2,200. Still enjoys shows, but made a wealth-building choice. Here's where it gets crazy: these habits create a wealth feedback loop. More assets, more income from assets, more money to buy additional assets, even more income. It starts slowly, but accelerates over time in ways most people find hard to believe. So there you have it. The difference between ending up rich or broke isn't about your salary, your background, some secret knowledge wealthy people guard like dragons. It's about 3 simple choices. 1. Avoiding lifestyle inflation. 2. Staying debt-free. 3. Being intentional with your money. The person sipping margaritas on the beach didn't get lucky. They just made different decisions with the same opportunities you have right now. Your future self is counting on what you do today. If this opened your eyes, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment telling me which wealth killer hit closest to home. And remember, it's not about how much you make. It's about what you keep, how you manage it, and what you do with it over time.